Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. I am so buzzed. I am so happy. I'm over the moon because yesterday's performance wasn't the best in the 90 minutes, but we won. We qualified. We sent those Dutch pricks back in Rotterdam for a fourth time in the Roman events and 3 consecutive years that they just cannot win against us. It's becoming embarrassing for them. I'm starting to feel bad because they think they are so good, but yet they never manage to win against us. Imagine losing against the same team and being eliminated from the Europa League 3 consecutive years against the same team. I mean, imagine the scenes. Imagine how embarrassing it might feel. So yeah, it is very embarrassing. If there are any Feyenoord fans watching this, you should be embarrassed because it's embarrassing to get thrown out 3 consecutive times by the same club, and one of these times was when we lifted a trophy in front of you. So yeah, look, let's speak about the game because yesterday's game was a game full of emotions. I think no matter if you were at the stadium like me or if you were at home, I think yesterday's game was a game full of different emotions. You know, every single minute of yesterday's game, we had a different reaction. The fact that we conceded after 4 minutes, we equalized after 10 minutes. The fact that we went to penalties, scoring the first penalty, missing the second penalties, Villar saves two, Zaleski on that score. It's one of those games which we will remember forever. And I wanna discuss about the game. I wanna talk about the game. I wanna talk about players. I also want to talk about the draw because we did get Brighton. So I do want to share a few words on that. I was live this morning for the draw. And now that I've looked at the draw, I think I'm in a better position to share an overall judgment on the draw. And yeah, feel free to let me know what you want. If you've got any questions, if you want to say something, do let us know in the live chat because I am so happy. And this is where I want to start. You know, this is a Europa League playoff. This is not a final. This is not a semi-final. In fact, we're very, very far away from qualifying to the final. But the reason why I am so buzzed and the reason why I'm so happy after yesterday's game, I can find it 2 reasons. Number one is because I hate Feyenoord. I think over these past 3 years, I have really developed a hatred against them to the extent that I would say that after Lazio, they are the team that I hate the most. Because I don't like their fan base. I know that not every Feyenoord fan is like them, and I obviously know football isn't like that. But the majority of Feyenoord fans, to me, look like absolute pricks. Pricks. Total pricks. And I do not like that club whatsoever. So beating them another time, shushing them down, is incredible. I feel a massive sense of relief in me. I would say that I'm tempted to say, I am tempted to say that now I'm happy if we get eliminated. My goal was to beat Feyenoord, but I'm not going to say that because that's not the truth. I have a big dream of lifting this trophy. I have a big dream of showing the world what has been stolen from us last year. I know it's complicated. I know it's not easy. But if we wanted to believe in it, we had to win yesterday's game. Number two of why I am 10 times happier, and I'm so happy right now, and I'm the happiest man on earth right now, is very simple. It's the fact that we won a penalty shootout. Because the reality is that 6 months ago, when I was in Budapest and I witnessed what was the lowest point of my life when we lost that penalty shootout in Budapest, and I was there watching that game, that week, that moment when we lost the penalty shootout, and the following week, it was a constant reflection of, oh my God, what if we won that game? What if we won that penalty shootout? And in that train back from Budapest, back Rome, in that plane back home from Budapest, my biggest nightmare was losing another penalty shootout. 24 hours after having lost the final on penalties, me 6 months ago on that plane back to Rome from Budapest, my biggest nightmare was seeing Roma lose another penalty shootout. Because penalties for me is not football. Penalties is a lottery. Penalties is a gamble. So, 6 months later, no, maybe a bit more, 8 months later, having won a penalty shootout against a team that I absolutely detest, to qualify for the next round of a tournament that I really want to win and I care about, it means so much. It means so much, which is why I'm so happy. I know that we shouldn't be too hyped because this is just a playoff. We shouldn't even be here. We shouldn't even have played this playoff because that group stage we should have topped. So it's a game that realistically we shouldn't even have played, but we ended up playing it. We ended up winning, and Feyenoord ended up going home. But again, let's speak about the game. I mean, they go on a lead after 4 minutes, which is never good because I think it kills your morale. And by the way, live, I do think that I live at the stadium, that goal looked like a handball, but I watched 1,000 replays of that goal, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not a handball. It's a shoulder. It's it's a regular goal. It's a normal goal. It should have been a goal, and it stayed as a goal. So the fact that they went on a lead after 4 minutes killed, in my opinion, a bit of morale, but at the same time, it feisted the players up to the extent that 10 minutes after, Pellegrini with a wonder kick, a banger, a belter. That is what you call a banger. And I'm going to continue saying this. Keep on hating him. Keep on calling him the weak ring and the weak component of this team. Because slowly, game after game, week after week, day after day, De Rossi has changed that man. And he is only recycling all of this hate and transforming this hate into performances. I understood Pellegrini criticisms 2 months ago. I can't stand and I will not tolerate and I will not understand Pellegrini hate right now. After such good performances, yesterday, before he got subbed off, he was the man of the match by far. The bold manager yesterday, their manager confirmed in the post-match interview, he said, this season it's not Dybala, this season Pellegrini carried their game. Spot on. I agree, bold guy. I agree, bold goblin. Pellegrini changed the dynamics of yesterday's game. And he changed the dynamics of yesterday's game more than Dybala, Lukaku, players that we expect to change the mechanism of yesterday's game. So that was really good. Pellegrini is proving everybody wrong, including me. 2 months ago, I was saying get the armband off him, 100%. But I stuck to criticism when he deserved to be criticized. I cannot understand the criticism and the continued hate that he gets right now just because he apparently betrayed a manager. I think that's football. I think that's football. I think Pellegrini is not the first player in the history of this game to have betrayed a manager. Yes, maybe we expect a bit more professionalism from the captain. I fully agree. But maybe there's a reason behind everything that we don't know. And we are nobody to tackle this reason. We are nobody to throw all of this hate to him right now. And he's proving us wrong. He really is proving us wrong. Then we score that 1-1, and it's a very blocked game. Feyenoord don't create anything. I've said this after the first leg ended. Feyenoord is nothing. Feyenoord is absolutely nothing. We deserved to win that game in 90 minutes. We bottled so many chances in front of that goal that we could have easily avoided a penalty shootout. And in the first leg, we could have easily won that game in Rotterdam at the De Kuip. Feyenoord or nothing. And this is what I mean. Those Feyenoord fans coming to Rome when they're even not supposed to come to Rome. I saw pictures of them in the stadium when they're even not supposed to be in the stadium. Okay, yeah, I agree that banning away games is wrong because football is about fans. But if it's a rule, you can stick with the rule. I hate this attitude that they have of, I want to be superior. You can't ban a Feyenoord fan. I read 1,000 comments saying, you can't ban a Feyenoord fan. You can't win a fucking game, mate. 3 years, 3 consecutive. I've never seen that. You see that in cartoons. So yeah, we placed them back in the multiverse that they deserve to be in. They think they're too good. Chill down. You're nothing. You look good because you play in the Farmers League. That's the truth. Moving on. Blocked game. In the last 20 minutes of the irregular 90 minutes, we start falling down a bit, subbing Pellegrini off, subbing Dybala off. We start to lose that touch. We start to lose that mechanism. And extra time comes, we don't do anything, neither do Feyenoord. Everybody wants penalties. It feels like the game and the two sides agreed to bring it to penalties. And then penalties come. It's a gamble. It's a gamble because we all know what penalties is. We all know what penalties is like. And it's a lottery. So yeah, Paredes, great penalty. I actually think the best penalty, I hate to say it, but it's Zaleski. I watched that penalty again, and for somebody like him, who has been targeted by fans lately, who has been, who has been not only targeted by fans, but a lot of fans want him out. Got subbed in that game, and in the 20 minutes he played, he was utter crap. He fell on the floor. He was always offside. He couldn't cross the ball. To take the winning penalty and shoot and take the penalty the way he did, you need courage. You need courage. And you might not be the biggest Zaleski fan out there. Of course, I'm not the biggest Zaleski fan, and I'll admit it. But you gotta give credit. And I hope that this penalty that he took is gonna give him a massive confidential boost. Winning the game with that penalty. Lukaku misses it. I do want to open a parenthesis on Lukaku because I think it deserves to. Lukaku played terrible yesterday. I'm the first one to say it. But, there's a very big but. Just like any game, I am somebody who I don't like hating on players unless they really deserve. I don't like hating on my players unless they deserve to be hated, like Matic, who all of a sudden wakes up and wants to leave. But when a player is a Roma player and wears this Roma kit, I tend to respect them all, no matter if your name is. Of course, I have my preferences, right? Of course I have my preferences, but I would never, we lose a game, I'd never go on Instagram, on an Instagram comment and type, Chilik, die, because no, that's not football, come on, at the end of the day, it's a game. So, of course I have my preferences, of course I have my favorite players, that's normal, but I don't tend to hate on players. No matter if your name is Dybala, Lukaku, or Pellegrini, or Chilik, or Karsdorp, or Svilar, or Patricio. But one thing that I will never understand about this fan base is the change of how bipolar we are. Because we are very bipolar. Us Roma fans, we are very bipolar. Ladies, I'm bipolar, and you know this. You are bipolar if you're a Roma fan. Roma fans have got this DNA, this bipolarism. Lukaku scores a goal. The only thing you read on the media, on comments, on Twitter, incredible player. Lukaku misses something and plays a bad game, and all you read is, get Lukaku out of my club. I don't think there's balance at this football club, in opinions. Hating Lukaku's wrong. Because if it wasn't for Lukaku, we would not be in a fight for top four. Because we need to start analysing the broader picture of things. If it wasn't for Romelu Lukaku under Mourinho, we would not be in a top four race. For the first 5 months of this season, he was the only one who bagged the goals. Not Dybala, Lukaku. Dybala this season is not scoring many goals apart from penalties. It's Lukaku who scored the goals. Another thing, very important thing, let's look at the statistics which shows us that Lukaku has played every single minute basically since he's a Roma player. He's tired. It's normal for him to miss a penalty. Messi misses penalties. It's not the fact that he misses a penalty. The one thing that I will criticize is that run-up. I don't understand this tendency of players with these stupid run-ups. I don't know if it's a way to be cool. I don't know if it's a way to hypnotize the goalkeeper. They are just dumb. You've got a penalty kick, just fucking slam it in. Slam it in. Look at what Paredes, look at what Zaleski did. That's how you take a penalty. Not these wonky ass run-ups and then slow penalties. Wank it in. You know, throw it in. It's the run-up which I'll criticize, because you can hear it from the stadium vlog. My father next to me looked at that run-up and went, he's gonna miss it, and he missed. You can tell when a player's gonna miss a penalty because of how stupid he runs up to it. So I don't understand. It's his run up. It's the way he prepares for these penalties, which I think he gets wrong. But I'm not going to criticize him because I know what Lukaku has given me and is continuing to give me. Lukaku scored that goal in Rotterdam. Are we all of a sudden gonna forget about that? If he hadn't scored that goal yesterday with a 1-1 result, we would have gone home. Roma fans need to start looking at the broader picture of things instead of always basing themselves on little details and basing their opinions on little details, because that's wrong, that's morally wrong, and that's also inhumane for him. And then their big hero is, of course, Mile Zvilor. I still haven't learned how to spell and read out his name, if it's a Mile or Mile. What a hero you are. Rui Patricio might as well pack his bags, because there is no more chances for Rui Patricio. What a keeper. It was his night. He fully deserves it. He was working towards it. De Rossi deserves a lot of praise for actually having the balls to make these decisions, removing Rui Patricio, putting Zvilor in, removing Zaleski as a fullback. De Rossi is showing balls. De Rossi is showing responsibility. And all I can say right now is I am loving life under De Rossi. I would extend his contract right now. I would. Maybe it's the hype, but the fact that we only lost one game against top 3 best teams in the world right now, everybody would have lost that game. We won the games we had to win. We qualified for the next round. Not an easy one. He's an inexperienced manager, isn't used to this European environment. I am loving life. He cares. The ambience at the stadium, the fact that he went in front of the Curva Sud, the hugs with Lukaku, Zaleski. I'm feeling unity back again. I'm feeling the unity that Mourinho brought in his second year at Roma. I'm feeling the unity that Mourinho brought during the Conference League period back again. Something which was missing in these last months with Mourinho. Unity was missing. Being happy around each other was missing. And yeah, we went through. It's interesting because Mourinho left this team. There was I filmed it and I captured it in the stadium vlog. The image of the image of De Rossi in the middle with the team around him before the penalty shootout, and I immediately thought that's how Mourinho left the team. That's how Mourinho left the team in Budapest. Him in the middle and the players around him after we lost that final. De Rossi picks up this team in the same exact position. A team which is still suffering from that final. Players which you can tell have got that scar of Budapest in them. But players who, are brave enough to win a penalty shootout, to do a penalty shootout again 6 months after losing it. Players who have balls, players with courage, manager who has brought new ideologies, new system, new responsibilities. I'm loving life right now. I'm loving life. Let's continue this momentum on Monday against Torino, and then also in the Europa League against Brighton, which is where I'm gonna bring the last minutes of this live stream to. Brighton and Hove Albion. Number 1, could have gone way worse, could have gone way better. It's a 50-50 game. It's going to be a game of football because both Brighton's De Zerbi and De Rossi's Roma play football. So it's going to be a very good game of football. That's why it's going to be a great away game if you're going there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go to Brighton. I would have loved to, but unfortunately, I'm not going to. If you're going there, enjoy it. It's going to be those European nights that we all wished for. It was going to be a great game, regardless of the result. I expect a lot of goals, weak defenses, great attacks. De Zerbi against De Rossi, 2 good friends. It's going to be a great game of football. Could have gone worse because we could have gone to Liverpool and Bayer Leverkusen. Could have gone better because we could have gotten Villarreal, Slavia Prague. But again, initially during the draw, I was a bit skeptical with Brighton. I'm gonna admit it. I was the first one to go, Brighton is scary. But then I've reflected upon this afternoon, and I said, reading all the comments of fans going, oh, Brighton's gonna annihilate us, Brighton's gonna kill us. And I actually asked myself a question which goes, why is it that every time we get a team in a European draw, it needs to be us who needs to be scared of them? Why is it that for once we can't expect Brighton or any other opponent that we get drawn out scared of us? Do we think that De Zerbi, do we think that Matoma, do we expect that Brighton is happy to have gotten a team like us? The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is simply no. You know, I went live for the draw, and I said, before the draw started, I said, I would rather get Brighton, West Ham, Liverpool, instead of Slavia Prague again. Because the reality is that if we want to advance in this tournament, we will end up facing these big teams. If I lose in the round of 16 or in the quarterfinals, frankly speaking, I don't care. If you want to advance and take your chances, you have to. We'll end up facing big teams. So why is it that we always, no matter if it was last season against Real Sociedad, this season against Brighton, last season against Feyenoord, this season against Feyenoord, why is it that every time Roma fans need to go, oh my God, I'm scared, oh my God, I'm scared, oh my God, I'm scared? Why is it that they can't be scared of us for once? We've shown what we are worth in Europe, lads. It's 5 years now that we have shown our value and our prestige in European tournaments. We've shown this in the Champions League. We've shown this by lifting the Conference League. We reached the Europa League final. Why the fuck can we start saying that those teams need to be scared of us? Because, okay, football is unpredictable. They might end up winning against us. But why is it that it's always us who needs to go, I'm scared of Brighton, I'm scared of Brighton, Brighton plays too good. You know, and I'll admit, I was yesterday evening, when I got back, I was like, I don't want Brighton. But then I realised and looked at the bigger picture of things and the bigger picture is, if we want to try and take our chances to win this, we will end up facing big teams. So if you face them now or not now, it's not going to change anything. Bring it on. It's a 50-50 game. Brighton ain't Real Madrid. Brighton is a doable game. They don't have European experience. Brighton is, in terms of the ownership and the club and the structure, they're nothing bigger than Sassuolo. They are a great side which play great football and all of that. De Zerbi has implanted an incredible philosophy, incredible players. But in terms of the club that they're in, they're nothing bigger than Torino. We are Roma. We ain't Real Madrid, but so aren't they. They aren't Real Madrid. It's a 50-50 game. It could go either way. Bring it on. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Right, lads, I'm going to end this. Let me read just a few comments, because, yeah, they deserve to. I'm sweating like mad. Lukaku really was safe from becoming another meme. After the match in Rotterdam, Lukaku was asked, why will it be a different... Yeah, I saw that too. La Roma, sì, il Feyenoord, very little majestic man. This man's future wife was sitting behind him. She was a pretty girl. She was a pretty girl, let's be honest. We gotta be honest in life. She was a pretty girl. Their goal was so lucky they shouldn't have got to penalties. I agree. Yogo Osh's match vlog, we need him to get that tattoo. Oh, I've said it in the match vlog. If that match vlog gets 10,000 likes, which is unrealistic, but if it does, tattoos is my biggest fear. So I have to set an unrealistic target. If you want to see me get a little wolf tattoo on my thigh, then that video needs to get 10,000 likes. How that video is going to get 10,000 likes, I don't know. You do your magic. I put it out there. I edited it. I was at the stadium. I captured everything. Now it's your job. If you want to see that tattoo on my thigh, that little wolf tattoo on my thigh, you need to get 10,000 likes. Get your girlfriends, families, parents, dads, grandmas to subscribe. Get your other accounts, because otherwise I ain't getting that tattoo. I've noticed Dybala's afraid to shoot. I feel like it was a good that we went to penalty because now we have way more confidence in the penalty shootout. Good point. Pellegrini has been so good since the De Rossi coming. He's been every man of the match contender in every game. Lukaku missed 2 pens this year. Yes. Leave De Rossi alone. I don't want him sacked. Let DDR contract expire on good terms. Why does it need to get expired? Why can't we extend his contract? I knew Yakan Bash was going to miss. It always backfires when players get subbed in just to take a penalty. Yeah. Right. Hit the like, subscribe, go watch that stadium vlog, bring Brighton on, but heads on Torino on Monday because we have a top 4 race to fight on that other front as well. Talk to you soon, and it's been a pleasure. La Roma si, il Feyenoord. Or I should say, La Roma si, il FEYE MAI, because it feels like a mission impossible for them. Simo, out.